how are you people? Captain Hunter coming to you from the watch party and play by play of the San Francisco 49ers against the Cardinals. Shooting at Asia against the Arizona Cardinals. The game will be starting here in a few minutes. Obviously, as usual, I am on the stream. So I'm behind on the game. I'm waiting for the game has to come up. To the mic is not on the right one. I don't know why into this.
Go. Okay. My mic should now be on the right one. Okay. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I've set it to default to be this microphone and not the headset one, but it keeps doing on there. There we go. All right. So now that we are on the right one, my way to Al, good evening, and how are you, people? Ugh, this is stupid. That told me it's stupid. All right. So the Niners are taking on the Cardinals coming up in here in a few minutes. Some of the, or exact phrase that, the inactives for today are Jordan Watkins, Khalil Farrell, which is a little surprise because we just got him. That one kind of sucks. Jordan James, not a surprise there. Connor Colby, not a surprise. Kevin Givens, little of a surprise. And then somebody who thought we were going to get some more playing time in a one Eli Apple sense because we thought Eli was going to end up being maybe getting some play time with Diamador Lenore being hurt, but apparently Diamador Lenore is good to go, and he is going to be starting. Let me look up the Cardinals. I forgot to do that real quick. 49ers. And if you know anything about that team right now, what is up, Anshel? How you doing right now? The Cardinals are even more beat up than we are. Let's see. Where are the Cardinals inactives? Let's go to Arizona. Let's go Bert. I had it. Yep, no apple juice today, even though we thought we had seen, with him being activated and, maybe Demo wasn't going to play, but now apparently he is going to play. And Angel, why are you talking to me? You should be at the game, damn it. You're supposed to meet up with Dion, have a beer, go to the game. Let's see. Trying to find the inactive list for the Cardinals, and why can I not find one? Okay, here we go. The inactive list for the Cardinals: quarterback Will Johnson, O-line Baron Browning, wide receiver Marvin Harrison, safety Taylor Demerson, O-line Jonah Williams, offensive lineman DeMontre Jacobs, and linebacker or D lineman B.L. Nichols. So, looks like the game will be starting here in a few seconds. Let me hit refresh and see if this has switched over to the Gamecast. It has not. Angelo, if you're here, let me know if you want to jump in, brother. Obviously, with the standings right now, we are in third place behind both the Seahawks and the Rams, who should be kicking off here in about 2 minutes, right behind us. And then obviously the Cardinals are bringing up the rear at 3-6 in the NFC West. So obviously, huge NFC playoff implications and everything else going up on this game. And with this game, with both teams having primary colors as red, it's hard to tell who's the home team. All right, so we're going to jump over to this channel. Here we go. Boom. All right, so again, I am on a delay, so you guys are probably going to be ahead of me. Media already with the, oh my God, I need to find a better stream. So obviously, something big has happened. I have not looked over at the game stream yet, so we'll see. All right, here we go with the kickoff. The Cardinals kicking off to start this game to the 49ers. And we got that's Sky Moore. Sky Moore taking it out the middle. Sky Moore, one man trips. He's got just the kicker to beat. He's at the 30, the 20. Somebody's got an angle on him. Gets down to about the 1 yard. Sky Moore, almost with the touchdown. Got cut off. Somebody had a very good angle on him. Very good start to the Niners game there, ladies and gentlemen. Good start to Brock Purdy's return as the Niners starting quarterback. Makes it about as easy as you can. Turn around and hand off the ball, damn it. Ryland had no chance. Who was it? Whoever tackled him took a great angle. Got to give him credit on that. But amazing return. Good kickoff. This special teams unit is, again, on fire. All right, the Niners are just coming up there. We got CMC. Hand off to CMC. Those of you who put an anytime touchdown on CMC, yourself included, you just got your bet back on that one. Touchdown Niners. About 4 seconds into the game. That's actually 16 seconds into the game. Now that I'm looking at the game clock. That's a good way to start the game. Yep, little jump cut in right inside. Nice. That is the reason why you want your team to be, so good when it comes to special teams, because you get stuff like this. You can get the momentum. You can start off quick. If you're behind, that's the way to get things going. That's how you start a game. I forget who it was, but somebody streamed this week said that Sky Moore was going to get a touchdown on that one. I forget who it was, but you almost had it. Oh. And then CMC just up the middle. And, of course, CMC goes up the middle, and Jake Brendel is 2 yards behind getting it on his ass. Fucking Jake Brendel, buds. Fucking A, man. It's the same bullshit with that ass hat over and over. Even when we're good like this, he's on his ass. He is an absolutely trash center. Good fucking start, boys. That's the way to start. And now we've got Eddie P with the kickoff to the Cardinals. They're picking it up at about the 6 yard line. They're taking it off the 20, up to the 25, runs into his own man, gets up to about the 27 yard line. Good return, good kickoff by the Niners. All right, so we got the Niners on defense now. The Cardinals coming up on offense. 1st and 10 at the 27 yard line. All right, we got McBride in motion down to the bottom. Running back right up the middle. Breaks a few tackles. Gets up to about 7 or so on that one. Should be interesting to see Michael Wilson as the number 1 receiver for the Cardinals for today. Not his usual position. All right, they've got a widespread 3 to the bottom, 2 up top. Brissett's back to pass, collapsing, going over the middle. The first down on that one. Tackled by Bethune and Mustafa on that one. Nice way to stop them on that. All right, so we do. D. Winters and Bethune. All right, they've got one to the bottom. Fake the handoff. Brissett's running around. They're setting up the screen, and that ball is dropped. So we're going to have 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Cardinals. All right, here we go on this 2nd and 10 for the Cardinals here. They got man in motion going up top. Fake the handoff. Brissett's being chased out of the pocket. Gets the ball away, and a nice tackle by D. Winters onto Terry McBride. Just got stomped on that one. That is, as we would call it, a medicine ball. That one could have hurt. Excuse me. If anybody wants to jump on, there it is. All right, they've got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom on this 3rd and 5. Motioning another man to the bottom. So we got trips to the bottom, excuse me for the hiccups. Whistle is blown. Looks like we got a little bit of a delay of game there. So we got 3rd and 10 coming up for the Cardinals. There's Drew Penzing, who's probably going to be out of a job this upcoming year. Let's be honest, this offense. Now, also, the offense has looked slightly better with Jacoby Brissett in the quarterback chair versus Kyler Murray, but I don't think Gannon makes it past this year, honestly. All right, we got 3rd and 10 here. Brissett's back to pass. He's got a good pocket, throwing deep, and it looks like we're going to get a flag on that one. Nope. Demo with the coverage on that play. All right, 4th down. They are going to punt. Why are they punt? I am going to try and see if I can find a better stream with this one on here. That's a little bit easier because I know I am pretty far behind on this one today. So let's see. Here's my Cardinals. They've only got one option today, so we got one. We've only got what we can watch today. All right, here comes the punt. Punt is up. Sky Moore is back. Can we do it again, Sky? Oops. Everybody just get out of the way. Get out of the way. Looks all right. The Cardinals down. It looks like at about the 29-ish yard line or so. All right. Now we will actually get to see what Brock Purdy led offense. Maybe it's just quick score all game long. All right, we'll be right back with the game. All right, we are back as the Niners are taking the field now. All right, again, I'm on a stream, so I'm a little bit behind. Unfortunately, I don't have any other options for watching the game right now. All right, Brock under center for the first time in quite some time. The juice in motion to the backfield, handoff to CMC up the middle, and gets about 2.5, maybe 3 on that play. Try to keep a lot of eye on McKivitz because, again, CMC just scored, and the man was on his ass. I mean, I'm just getting tired of it. It's just pathetic. All right, here we go. All right, we got 2nd and 8 here. CMC's moving up to the top a little bit. We're going to look for CMC. Yep, going to look for CMC and overthrow CMC as Brock. That ball had no chance of even if you were 19 feet tall. And as I look outside, I see my little puppy walking around. All right, so we got a 3rd and 8 coming up. Let's see what we're going to do like a 4 wide set because we've been doing that a lot with Mac when it comes to these ones. All right, here we go. Nick Rallis, the youngest coordinator in the history, not in the history, but in the anyways, got 3rd and 8, CMC in motion up top to the slot. Brock back by himself. Decent pocket. Brock going deep. He has got JJ wide open over there. JJ with down to about the 40 or so yard line of Arizona. Nicely done on JJ's part. Yep. It's a good placement on where JJ, good way to find just that little just to find that hole and just sit down there. Look at Ricky Pearsall out there. We'll see how much Ricky plays today. Obviously going to be on some sort of a pitch count coming back from his injury. Brock back to pass. Getting some good protection. Throwing over the middle. Demarcus Robinson, almost kind of like the forgotten person with Mac Jones. Just for whatever reason, the two of them just don't vibe. It just didn't, for whatever reason. Nothing against him. But maybe with Brock coming back, we'll get a little bit more of Demarcus Robinson. Like Demarcus Robinson had a huge touch or it was wide open to end the second half last week. But Mac Jones just didn't throw it. We'll see if maybe Brock will throw that. So far, not seeing any issues with Brock throwing the ball. CMC going out, coming back down to the middle. We got 2 up top, Juice off to the side, Juice in the motion. We are now switching, and Juice going all the way to the bottom. So is JJ. Brock back in the shotgun with Brock back to pass, getting some good. Brock going deep to Kittle. Touchdown, Niners. This offense is on fire this morning so far. Good job. That was good. I like the way we called out of that one and went to that play instead. Nicely done, gentlemen. Brady's looking good so far. George Kittle just straight up. Yep. Good fucking play. Eddie P on there for the point after. Oh, and it's blocked. Eddie P getting it blocked. Of course, that's not going to go on him. Oh, Eddie P a little slow getting off the way he was thrown down there. Maybe that'll be something. We'll see. All right. Niners with another pretty much a quick score with Purdy back at the helm of this offense to George Kittle. Niners are leading 13-0 with 9:51 still to go in the first quarter. Be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. The Niners taking already jumped out to a quick 13-0 lead over the Arizona Cardinals. What is up, Bradley? How are you doing today, my man? Thank you for showing up. We'll see. Eddie P looked like he got tossed down a little bit kind of hard. Maybe he got the wind knocked out of him, but it looks like he's kicking the ball pretty good. All right, we get another return for the Cardinals. Gets out to about the 25, jumped up to about the 27, 28-yard line. It's a great throw by Brock. It's almost like everybody knows Brock is back. All right, here we go. Let me switch back over to here. All right, we got one up top, one coming in motion to the bottom. Hand off, straight up the middle. Getting about 5 or 6 on that one. We'll see how it goes with Alfred Collins back in the mix of things. That's good to hear. Good, brother. Thank you. It's good to hear, man. You have to say, if there's anything that wanted to give this team a boost in any sort of way, this is definitely the way we wanted it to start off. I mean, we have started so slow at times. This is something that we definitely needed. All right, here we go. We got 2nd and 4 coming up. They've got it tight with just one man to the bottom. Another handoff, and he does not get much on the play. Upton Stout coming in to West and Collins getting good penetration. I forget who that was. I was misspoke on who the. Let me look it up. I should know these kind of things, shouldn't I? All right, there we go. We got 3rd and 3 coming up for the Niners. We'll look for that later. Let's see. Got 3 to the bottom, 1 up top. Brissett back to pass. Pockets collapsing. He's throwing deep. He's got a man. Oh. Michael Wilson with a great catch. Wasn't even a bad. The coverage wasn't even bad. It was even just a better play by Wilson. That's not even bad coverage by Brissett. Sometimes players just make plays. All right, here we go. They got 2 up top, 1 at the bottom. Tight end going in motion to the bottom. Brissett back to pass. Throwing it, checking it down in there. They get it about to the line, short by about maybe a half a yard or so. We'll see if they give it to him or not. All right, run up the middle to get the first down on that one. Come on, guys. All right, got 2 up top, 1 to the bottom. Brissett back in the shotgun. Throwing it out there to the running back. Good tackle out there by Jason Pinnock. So we're going to have a 2nd and 6 coming up. Let's see, can we hold them to a field goal? You don't want to let them obviously score a touchdown, but, hold them to a field goal. Let's get these, let's put them down and keep them there. All right, Brissett with a good drive going here for the Cardinals currently. He's got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom, or 1 to the bottom, excuse me. All right, he's back to pass. Pocket's collapsing a little bit, and they're going to... looks like Dorr should get about almost to the first down marker. We'll see who comes up. Remember, this game is 13-0, but we are still in the first quarter. There's still 5:55 left to go in the first quarter. So, all right, here we go, guys. Come on, let's stop him on his 3rd down. All right, go. Only 1 out to the bottom. Jacoby Brissett with the sneak going out the middle for the first down. Gets them down to about the 6 or 7 yard line with a 1st and goal inside the 5 or inside the 10-yard line. Come on, that's where someone like Alfred Collins needs to take over. All right, 1st and goal for the Cardinals coming up once again. They got 1 up top, handoff going off to the bottom side of and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched. Touchdown Cardinals, cutting the lead in half. Just that quick. We give it and take it away, ladies and gentlemen. They just ran it down and moved it down. Yes, the penalty on Upton did help, but again, that was just a good play by Mike Wilson. Here we go, and the kick for the Cardinals is up, and it is good. So the Cardinals drive down the field with a pretty quick score, cutting the score down to 13-7. About 5 minutes left to go. A little over 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. All right, we will be right back. All right, Niners are back on with the score being 13-6 or something, 7. Yes, Bradley, they definitely need to hurry up and go. All right, we got Andrew. I'm going to the game versus the Titans already, so that's why I decided not to go. Why not go to multiple games? That's all I'm going to say. If you have the chance to go to games, go to more games. There's eat more chicken, go to more games. All right, Cardinals kickoff to the Niners. It's going to be going into the end zone. We're just going to pull it out. Pause. All right, so let's see what we can do with coming up here on this, technically the third drive, even though the first drive is only, when you get the ball in the 1 yard line, does it count as a drive? I guess it does, but let's be honest. It's all you do is hand off and turn it and hand it off to CMC at the 1 yard line, and then you watch Brendel sit on his ass again as usual. All right, here we go. Brock bringing the team to the line of scrimmage. All right, we got two up top. That's it. We got B-Rob in the game right now. CMC in motion. Hand off to Brian Robinson going up the middle. Maybe 2.5 yards of hard yardage on that one. So far, Brock has looked pretty good. Let's pull up the stats real quick. Brock is 4 of 5, 68 yards for 1 touchdown. Jacoby Brissett, 6 of 8 for 62. So, both quarterbacks have started off looking pretty good. All right, we got 2nd and 8 coming up here. B-Rob is still in the game for CMC. Probably get his whole series, I would assume. We got basically trips to the bottom. Another handoff to Brian Robinson trying to cut it up across. Nope, he's going to lose yardage, creating a 3rd and 10 for the Niners here. It looks like the Rams has scored first in the battle for first. Rams with their black uniforms, or are they dark blue? I'm not sure. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 10 coming up for the Niners. We got trips to the bottom. DeMarcus Robinson a little in motion. Oh, why did you throw that? That was a terrible throw, Brock. Brock and Ricky Pearsall getting it. Maybe he might have got back to the line of scrimmage, a loss of 1. So 4th and 10 coming up here. Man getting around McKivitz there to get some pressure on Brock. All right, here we go with the punt from Morstead. Ooh, almost. Oh, and then we had a trip. This is not looking good. He got the angle. Morstead trips, tries to get him on there. Jesus, guys, come on. We just had a good special teams play. Now we're getting a terrible punt for the Niners, getting them on the other side, on the Niners side of the field to start their drive. Terrible tackling. Guys are getting blocked left and right. Crap. All right, let's look and see what the other scores are looking at right now. Why is it not going to where I want it to? There used to be just a button to click it straight over. Let's do this. Let's take a look at this. Obviously, the Niners are winning 13-7. Seahawks must have just scored with a field goal because they're now trailing 3-7. Denver over Kansas City to start 3-0. Baltimore and Cleveland at zeros. Obviously, later on, we've got Detroit and Philadelphia. Then we also got the Dallas and the Vegas on Monday night. Games earlier in the window, we had New England beating the Jets. Miami beating the Commanders. Jacksonville beating the Chargers, destroying the Chargers, of that matter. The Steelers beating up on the Bengals. Green Bay beating New York. Chicago with the win over the Vikings. Texans inching one out over the Tennessee Titans. A high-scoring game between Buffalo and Tampa Bay. And Carolina inking one out in overtime over the Falcons. All right. Let's see. All right, so far for the Niners for receiving, we got George Kittle with 1 for 30, Juwan Jennings 1 for 25, and D. Robinson 1 for 13. Obviously, George with the lone touchdown. Rushing, we've got McCaffrey with 2 for 3, and B. Robinson 2 for 0. So we're not doing much on that turn. So it's kind of like, it's very big, and we'll see what this game turns back towards, actually to the Cardinals if they come back and get, especially if they can score, on this drive. So we'll see. Looks like there's a new teenage football drama high school thing going on Tubi TV. All right. All right. 1st and 10 to go on the 44. You've got 1 up top, got 2 in the backfield, basically, with Brissett. All right, fake the handoff. If you call that a fake, he's going to dump it off short. Jair Brown with a little slippage, as usual. I would like to not see Jair Brown on the field as least amount of possible. It's good blocking by the Morstead. Kicking his foot up like he was going to do something with that one. All right, here we go. 2nd and 7. Man in motion going about to. We got a false start over there. False start on the Cardinals. So we got 3rd and 12 coming up here. Whoa. All right, here we go. 2nd and 12 for there. We've got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Brissett back to pass. Brissett that's not going anywhere on that pass. It is incomplete. That's Bryce Huff in there, getting his hand up on that pass. Actually, it was Keon White. I'm sorry. I thought it was White that came in with 56, but it's Keon White. All right, we've got quads, trips to the bottom, and now he's coming back on this 3rd and 12 with the Cardinals. All right, we got back his quick throw out, and he is going to be tackled by both Demo and D. Winters. So we got about 4th and 5 or so coming up. So they're 4th and 7, but they're going to be going for this long field goal. Let's see about this kickoff here for the Cardinals. So the field goal for the Cardinals. It's got a 58-yard attempt here. All right, the kick is up, and it is not going to be good. You can tell by the angle just coming off his foot. That is not a good one. So the Niners are going to be getting the ball back just about close to midfield to start this next drive for them. Come on, boys. Let's get this ball in the end zone. We are still in the first quarter. It's 55 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Good stand by the Niners defense after that huge punt return by the Cardinals. All right. That has been the Cardinals, MO all season long. All right, let's see what Brock and this offense can do after failing on the last drive. We got to motion. Brock's back to pass. Brock throwing it over the middle. That is going to be JJ getting at least the first down for now. They can't take him down, but we are moving the ball forward. Again, we got 41 seconds left to go into the first half. This play will probably take us down to the end of the half. All right. Juice in motion, coming back across the middle. CMC doing a little cutback up the middle. He's got Pooney ahead of him, getting about 15 yards or so on that one. Nice run up the middle by CMC. And that'll probably end the first quarter. Actually, that will end the first quarter. That'll end the first quarter with the Niners winning 13-7 over the Arizona Cardinals. And then we will be right back. All right, 1st and 10 with the Niners. Brock throwing over the middle to George Kittle. George Kittle going over there and bumping his way to get that first down on that one. Nice start to the drive on this one. All right. So we've got 14:40 to go in the second quarter. Again, this game is going kind of slow today. All right, we've got Juice in motion again as usual. CMC cutting it up the middle, getting about four, maybe 5 on that run. Not a bad run up the middle. And looks like these Rams have scored again on the Seahawks. Look at that. 23-14 as a division. NFC best is back. All right. To the bottom, Juice in motion. Fake the handoff to CMC. Brock back got some action. He's just floating it up. Was kind of hoping to get something. Looks like we got a flag on somebody out there. Pointing towards Jennings. Are they still mad about last year? Oh, we got holding on the number 16 of the Cardinals. So it's not on Jennings like that because they were all pointing at John Jennings on that one. Yep. He would have been wide open. He had his man beat. Farrell was going to be open, completely open in the back corner of the end zone. That's probably why Brock was holding it. He was looking for that one. All right, we've got two to the bottom, one up top. CMC motioning out a little bit to the side. Brock back to pass. Brock throwing to CMC. CMC going to walk it in? Yes, he is. So that is the second touchdown for the 49ers in this game. Number 3 in the game overall. Niners increasing their lead currently 19-7 over the Cardinals. Got to go for 2 on this one. Definitely got to go for 2. Increased it back out to 21 points. George Kittle with a lovely little chip block as he did to break CMC wide open. All right, Eddie P is back. Eddie P kicks it. Then, Eddie P with a miss. That is not. Eddie P, that nice new shiny toy starting to wear off a little bit. Still doing good. Still got the Niners up 19-7 over the Arizona Cardinals with 13:39 to go in the second quarter. Be right back. All right, looks like Niners are kicking off. I was wondering if you remember, you can go back when I said that when Eddie P missed had that first one blocked, and it came back to him. He kind of got slammed to the ground a little bit. I'm curious if maybe he is playing with maybe a concussion or something along those lines. I don't know. I'm just throwing random shit out there, but we'll see. I definitely noticed he had a little bit of a dazed look in his face, though. 100%. All right, let's see what we can do. Come on. We got Arizona with a 1st and 10 coming up. All right, they've got 2 up top and 1 to the bottom. Hand off, going up the middle, cutting back. Oh, we can't tackle. Bounces about off 3 of the other guys and gets about 3 yards on that one. Excuse me. All right, here we go. We got trips to the bottom, 1 up top. Actually, we got quad to the bottom, 1 up top. Now we're switching over to 2 up top, 1 trips to the bottom. They're set back in the lone. And it looks like we are blitzing it. Going in over the middle, first down for the Cardinals. That's Michael Wilson again. Michael Wilson always turning up whenever the Niners play the Cardinals. Let's see what we can do. Again, for those of you who are watching me, I am watching it on a stream illegally. And so I am a little bit behind of what's probably going on if you were watching it on like TV or anything. All right, so we've got 1 at the top. They got 2 tight ends up top, handing the ball over. Looking at a little counter play here. It's going to get blocked, and we've got about everybody on the defense in the backfield. Lost for about 5 yards, although Jason Pinnock getting the actual tackle. But we had great penetration by about the entire front 7. Just everybody pushing them back. Look at Kalia Davis. Look at C.J. West. All those boys are just pushing them back. Pinnock is getting blocked into the guy with one arm, is reaching out basically and gets his arm around his thigh for the tackle. So we got 2nd and 15 coming up. We got trips up top. Terry McBride at the bottom. We're going to hand it off. We're going to get about 4 or 5 on the play. Tackle by Kalia Davis. 3rd and long, so let's put in the NASCAR package. Let's go. So far, Brissett in this game is not having a terrible game. He is 9 of 12 for 80. As far as rushing goes, they got B Knight 4 for 20 with 1 touchdown. So their offense is not doing terrible right now. All right, we got trips up top for this 3rd and 9. We got 1 to the bottom. Are we going to blitz or are we going to back out of it? We are backing out of it. Going to throw a little screen out there. They're going to get a few people, but everybody short of the 1st down. Oh, we got a little pushing and shoving going on down there. There's a flag. Which idiot threw a flag and is getting kicked out of the game? Which jackass threw a punch? So it's Ronaldo Green. Green, what the fuck? Just get off the fucking field. Fuck. God damn it. That is fucking Ronaldo, man. All right. So we have 1st and 10. They got 1 up top. Brissett is back for the pass. He's throwing deep. Terry McBride is wide open. And they're back in the red zone. Fuck. Stupid shit like that will get you every single damn time. Yes, Sub-Zero, laugh because that shit's stupid every fucking time. It's funny because no matter what it is, we've always said this. It's always the second man. Terry McBride is obviously the one who started that shit. Who gets called on it? The second man, Renardo Green. And the thing is, he straightened his helmet out, walked away, and then still got it. It's fucking stupid. Nope, we got unsportsmanlike. Oh, Terry McBride, so we're going back for him. Let's see, what did Terry McBride do? Maybe I'm going to assume it, and this is from behind, so I couldn't actually see it, but maybe McBride went like that. I know the NFL is against that kind of. He kind of moves his hand. I don't know if he went across his neck with it. So we'll see what we got. So we got 1st and 10. They have been moved back out of the red zone. Handoff up the middle, and he gets stopped after 2. Like I said, that's my best guess as far as that one. Let's see. Let's watch it. Okay, it's the sniff thing that they don't like. Is it dumb? Yes. Will the NFL catch you for it every time? Yes. They don't like that shit. So I was wrong. I was right with the fact that he was going across, but I thought he might have done this. But you can't do that either. It's just, we've got 1 Cardinal down and 1 Niner down on the field right now. So we'll see. So it's Tatum Bethune who is also down. I didn't hear who was down for the Cardinals. They are going to commercial, so will we. Be right back. All right, we are back. So it looks like that is their running back, the Americano. Every time I saw his name this week, I was looking at the Americano, the coffee. Tatum Bethune is out, so more than likely that is going to be Curtis Samuel stepping in for him, or Curtis Robinson. I always say Curtis Samuel. All right, here we go. We've got trips to the bottom, 1 up top. Brissett obviously back in the shotgun. We are bringing the Brits. We got a short to pass out there. Oh, come on, guys. Make that tackle. So 1st and goal on the 8-yard line. So Sub-Zero. See. They never learn, man. But shit, we got black. Yeah. I will say the Cardinals with their black outfits actually look pretty good. You know, I'm not a fan of their red ones because it's got that off-red color, but it's not so bad. But their black ones look legit. But yeah, they've got to learn. Stop being the second man in this bullshit. All right, we got 1st and goal for them. They're going to run it right up the middle, get down. Ugh. Gets down to about the 1-yard line, but there is a flag down, so we'll see how that rolls out. We got holding. We got holding on Terry McBride, who now ball it off. We call it bands over the game, ball, whatever. Anyways, look at that penetration by Alfred Collins. Just had him go kick it out. All right, here we go. Come on, boys. Let's get this. Also, the reason why I hate the Niners black uniform so much is because it looks kind of like the Cardinals ones. Why do we need two uniforms with black? Let the Cardinals have their own. All right, Brissett is back to pass. He's throwing it over the middle. I think to bring Bride. Good tackle by Jason Pinnock. So we got a 3rd and goal coming up for the Cardinals. We got Mad Dog in the house with the update for the Rainy City Bitch Pigeons are losing to the Lamb Chops 14-6. Thank you on there, John. Terry McBride, if I was him, I'd want to go to a different team. John with a bang bang, not a gang. Definitely my man. All right, so we got 2nd and goal here. Handoff going up to the middle. Nope, we fake it to Brissett, and Brissett gets tackled in the backfield for a loss. Loss for about 3 or 4 yards on that one. So we got about a 4th and 8, 4th and 9 coming up here. Are they going to go for it, or are they going to kick the field goal? And Brissett or Winters is the half game fuss, so he gets that freaking he gets that handoff. All right, we got 3rd and goal here. Trips to the bottom, 1 in motion going up top for a 2-2. Back to pass, throwing it, trying to dump it off. Missed 1 tackle. Got another perfect people. Yes, we got them. Not sure who it was that missed that first tackle, but who cares? Because they are going to have to go for it now on 3rd down. Or 4th down, they're going to have to go for it or kick the field goal. What are we doing? Couldn't see where there's a number 26, 25. All right, so we got 4th and goal here, and the Cardinals are going to be kicking for the field goal. Still got 6:35 to go in the 2nd quarter. Like I said, this game's taking forever. All right, the ball is up, and it's blocked, and it's still good. Ugh. Collins making another play. They're trying to make a play. Field goal, they don't want that smoke. Oh, man. Alfred Collins, man, just way to go. All right. They're going to commercial, so we will be right back with the Cardinals closing the gap to 19-10 with a field goal. All right, Cardinals kick off. Looks like Brian Robinson hits the 20, kicks back. Oh, Brian Robinson kick going forward. There's a flag down, so this is more than likely coming back. Eddie or Thomas down here saying Eddie has the moody illness today. No, what I think it is that if you go back to the play where that first field goal was blocked, and then you watch when after Eddie gets picked, or when Eddie is picked up, the camera goes to his face. Take a look at his face. You can see that he has a dazed look at his face. I'm wondering if he has a concussion or if there's something going on. So I don't think that was necessarily, or that it's Eddie having a bad day. I think it's just there's something going on. Like I said, I think there's concussion, some sort of an injury, but his face tells you that he had his head wrong. Something's going on. So we'll see what we got. All right, the Niners are now coming out. We've got a 1st and 10 to go on about the 49-yard line of the Cardinals for the 49ers. Ricky Pearsall in motion. We got Brian Robinson back in the back. We're going to hand it off to him. Nope. Brock's going to stand in the pocket. Brock's going to try and throw it to B. Robinson, who drops the pass. Buda Baker in coverage on that one. Not a whole lot out of Ricky today so far. We knew he was going to be on a pitch count, but just not a whole lot out of him so far. All right, we got 2nd and 10 coming up here. Hand off to B. Robinson, cuts it back up the middle, pushing the file forward, gets stopped after a gain of about 4 or 5 on that one. Pearsall on the ground. Come on, guys. All right, we got 3rd and 5 here. All right, let's see if we can do anything with this one. All right, we got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. DeMarcus is in motion, putting trips up top. Brock's in the shotgun, calling for the pass. He's back to pass. They are just bringing forward. Brock going over the middle, almost picked off. That was a terrible idea to throw that one, Brock. You also had 2 players in the same area, so there's somebody who's not running the right route. All right, 4th and 5, so we will come up to punt on this one. Oh, look at that one. Juwan Jennings and Demarcus Robinson both running into it. Yeah, this has been pretty much a crazy game. We started off so hot, and we've kind of still been a little bit lukewarm. Let's hopefully the punting game is not as bad as it was the last time. Morstead with the punt. And we will down it at about the 6 or 7 yard line by Syrian O'Neal. All right, let's take a look at what is going on with the rest of the league right now. Obviously, we are in our game 13 to 7. Why is that saying 13 to 7? Let me refresh. 19 to 10. I was like, what the hell? The Rams are up on the Seahawks. Again, thank you, Mad Dog, for jumping in earlier to give us that update. See, Seattle's in the red zone. They've got 3:16 to go left in the second quarter on that one. The Broncos still leading Kansas City 3-6 in what looks like a kickoff, a field goal fest. And, of course, we've got the Browns, who I did see on the broadcast with the fumble, the recovery of the punt. I can't talk at times. My concussions are showing up at times. Special teams have started, but not so much at the part. Yeah, I mean, but we also just had a good punt, and downing on that one. Alfred Collins almost made another great play. Alfred Collins, still making. We had talked about how, I don't know if it was me and TJ or me and you on Friday on the show, Anshel, that I don't expect this defense to be dominant. What I expect this defense to play is guys like Alfred Collins, maybe a D. Winters, maybe, a Demo to make plays. I'm expecting they're not, again, the defense is not going to be dominant. But what I am asking for this defense is to make 4 to 5 big plays or stops like that throughout the game, and that makes a difference. We're just not going to be a dominant defense. Crazy how Collins blocked the kick and Riley still made it. Yeah. Leg strength, I guess. I mean, that's all I can think of. I don't know. It is nuts, though, that he made it. But like I said, this defense is not going to dominate anybody. I don't see us shutting down the Cardinals for the rest of the game, even with their beat-up defense. I just don't think or their offense, I don't think our defense is made for that. I'm just hoping someone like Alfred Collins blocks that kick. Alfred Collins gets a big sack on third down. Demo gets a pick later in the game. Ronaldo Green, don't be a fucking dumbass and throw a punch as a second man in a fight, tussle, whatever the fuck you want to call that on the field. We all know the second man always gets busted on that. Ronaldo Green had enough time to walk away from that incident with McBride. Then he fucking came back and still got through a punch or grabbed him. All right, let's go back to this. All right, we got 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. What's going on there? Let's pull it back up. All right, so we got Robert Bill Jr., who is questionable for a concussion. Tatum Bethune, ankle, questionable. And Upton Stout, also questionable with a stinger. We'll see how that turns out. More injuries. All right, so we got 2nd and 7 coming up here. Brissett, they're throwing a little swing out to McBride. McBride gets stopped. Looks like he got the first down on that one, but there is yellow on the field. So we'll see what kind of a flag we got. Yeah, Jason Pinnock pointing it backwards, so we'll see if we got like a holding or something going on that side. 4:35 to go. This game is taking forever. Oh, we got holding on the Cardinals, so that's going to drop that back to probably, 3rd and 12? Or 2nd and 12? Oh, God, now they're going to bring up the banged-up 49ers, what do you call it? Screen shit. Slide. I know it's not slide. It's not the right word. All right, here we go. We have got a 3rd and 12 coming up, or 2nd and 12 still. Back over the middle for a gain of about 3 to 4. So we got a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Niners. Exactly. Put your hands as disturbs pass as much as possible. Yeah. I've always, I remember playing football as a D lineman, and our linebackers and us, anytime we knew it was pass, we would always yell pass, and our hands would go up. All right, here we go. They've got trips up top, deuces to the bottom, empty backfield for Brissett right now. Are we going to blitz? We're faking it, and we got D. Winters and them going, and we are getting it out there to there, and we are going to stop them about 2 yards short of the first down. The 4th and 2 coming up. Obviously, they're going to have to punt this, right? D. Winters got up a little slow. Hopefully, there's nothing else with that because at this point, our linebackers are getting a little thin. All right, there you go. 3rd down coming up. Or 3:01, 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Punt is up. Calling for the fair catch. And we got for a catch at about the 30-yard line. And we'll see how it goes. A few injuries. No, we had a few injuries a few weeks ago on top of all our other injuries. Come on, boys. Let's get in this. We got the ball. No, we're kicking off in the second half. That's right, because I forgot about Sky Moore and his 90. That's how long it's been. It's left my mind that we started this game off with a 98-yard almost touchdown by Sky Moore. Yep. Thank you, media. I was just showing that one that came up. I was talking about it when they put up the graphic earlier. So we've got 1st and 10 for the Niners. 2:50 left to go. All right, we got Kendrick in motion. Kendrick only needs 5 yards or 50 yards to get a $500,000 bonus on this year. Kendrick, get out of the way. CMC would have had a much bigger run had Kendrick got out of his way. But yeah, so let's get Kendrick 50 yards so he can get like his 50,000 or 500,000 bonus. Would love to see that man get paid. Kendrick's like, ah. All right, we got 1st and 10 again for the Niners. One up top, one in the bottom. We got 2 in the backfield. And we are now changing it. Got CMC up, motioning. Oh, movement. Is that offsides? He needs 18. I thought it was more than that. Either way, I hope the man gets paid. So we got encroachment coming up. So we're gonna have 1st and 5 to go. All right, we are going down to the 2-minute warning here. The Niners still leading the Cardinals 19-10. We will be right back. All right, we are back for the start of this 2-minute drill going on here. Mayoko said he only had 18. Okay, well, it's 18 yards, 50 or 5,000. Either way, let's get this man some money on the season. Robert Bill has been ruled out. Yeah, concussion. That's not surprised at all with that one going on. All right, we got George in motion. Now everybody's changing positions. We got a dual backfield. And we've got a timeout called by the Niners with Brock Purdy. That is terrible to call the timeout when you're coming out of the 2-minute warning. I mean, what the fuck, guys? Come on. Fucking stupid. It's just... Who was doing something that stupid right there? I mean, you're coming in after the 2-minute commercial. Sorry, my dog's outside. Dumb plays. It's dumb shit like that that'll get you every time. All right, Niners coming back up to the yard. All right, so we got 1st and 5 coming up for the Niners. All right, 2 up top, hand off to CMC. CMC's going to cut up the middle, get enough yardage for the 1st down, and about 2 or 3 extra yards on that one. Nice run by CMC. Spencer Furfer with a good block. Almost looks like Buda Baker was tackled by Spencer Burford by the way he had his arm around him. All right, Brock back to pass. Brock with a kind of a terrible throw to Jennings, who was not open. All right, so Brock right now currently is 8 of 12 for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. Excuse me. All right, here we go. We got 2nd and 10 with the Niners. Juice is in motion, probably going to end up back in the backfield. Nope, he's going to go back out. Nope, he's going to go back in the inside again. What is Juice doing? He's making me busy. All right, empty backfield for Brock as he goes back to pass. Dump it off down to Kittle. Kittle with the bigger play. Kittle getting down to about the 20-yard line, short of the 1st by about 1.5 yards or so. All right. So we got 3rd and 3 coming up for the Niners here. Let's see. Let's scroll through Twitter, see if anything interesting. Looks like Tatum Bethune is also questionable to return. All right, here we go, guys. Come on. We got 3rd and 3 coming up for the Niners. All right, we got 2 to the bottom, 2 up top. Brock back to pass. Brock scrambling. What are you doing, Brock? Just turn it up. Throwing it, Brock. Brock, what are you doing, buddy? Oh. Brock, man, just take that sack, buds. That was almost a shot to the head, which could have been a huge penalty on the Cardinals. All right, we got ADP back out there. It's up, and it is good for ADP. ADP back on track, extending the Niners' lead to 22-10. So I think he just got his head rocked, and then you just have to shake off the cobwebs and everything on it. Yeah, so he's gonna get the ball back with about 1.5 minutes left to go in the 1st half. God. This game started at 1:05. It is 2:30, and we still have not gone into the 2nd half. Let's see some of the other games. Let's see where the other teams are at. Seattle is in the halftime. Kansas City and Denver are about 4 minutes, and then Baltimore and Cleveland about 4 minutes. Yeah, so I guess we're not too bad. We just have a lot of long games going on today. All right, here we go. ADP with the kickoff. All right, we're going to pick the ball up at about the 2-yard line, bring it out, and he's going to get to about the 28, 27-yard line, somewhere in there. So the Cardinals are going to have 55 seconds to go about 70-ish so yards to try and get some points on the board to try and do that flip going into the halftime. All right, here we go. They've got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. Brissett back to pass, getting some good pressure on him, getting over the middle. Good catch by Michael Wilson once again. All right, we're down to about 40 seconds to go. All right, we got 2 up top. Brissett back to pass. Brissett almost is dropped by the Carter. I remember the 4th string running back at this point. All right, let's see what we can do on this one. We've got 2nd and 10, 32 seconds left. 2 up top, 2 to the bottom, 1 in the backfield with Brissett. And we are going to have a little bit of we've got yellow on the field, so we've got a false start on the Cardinals, bringing up a 2nd and 15. All right, here we go. Trips up top, 1 to the bottom. Brissett back to pass. Gonna have to dump it off. Good tackle. Who is that with the tackle? D. Winters on the tackle for a very short gain. Looks like maybe about 2. So 3rd and 13 coming up. All right. They've got trips up top, 1 to the bottom on this 3rd and 13. Brissett is back. Brissett's going deep over the middle. Oh, is it picked? It is picked. Malik Mustafa with the pick on that one. Nicely done, Malik. Let's not do the whole celebration shit. Come on. I hate that shit. That ball was just thrown behind. He didn't lead them long enough. Malik Mustafa just laying out Renardo Green. All right, let's see what the Niners can do. We've got 19 seconds, 2 timeouts. We could possibly get a field goal here. All right, we've got trips to the bottom with George and 1 up top. Here we go. We got 5 seconds to go. Back to pack is Brock. Brock throwing. Nice catch by Jennings over the middle. Call the timeout. 11 seconds to go. All right. Not bad, not bad. There's Walter Nolan, who a lot of people are saying trash. All right, boys, come on. Let's see if we can get this touchdown. Or at least a field goal. Touchdown unless somebody breaks it. We got trips to the bottom. Juice in, or not Juice, CMC in motion. Brock back to pass. Brock got plenty of time. Oh, there's a flag. There we go. We'll take that flag. We will take that flag. Definitely take that. Now it's going to move the ball down the field, and we'll get a first down. And let's see. All right, here we go. We're going to see if we got 5 seconds. Obviously, it's a quick shot. Now we're going to stop, take time out. I mean, basically, it's going to be someone's going to hit a slant out for maybe 5 or 6 yards and hopefully get out of bounds because there's not much time. We've only got 5 seconds left, unless we just throw it deep. All right. All right, here we go. So we got 5 seconds left. 20. I mean, like I said, it's got to be something very quick, and it's got to be basically at the sideline. Quick slant. JJ goes down. Timeout. We've got 1 second left. That's about as quick as you can get it right there. ADP coming out. Oh. All right, here we go. 59-yard field goal. This would be a career long. Or no, 62. 62. Eddie P. It's blocked. But there's a flag on the field. What the hell's going on? All right, so we've got a blocked field goal, flag on the field. Eddie P was not going to make that one. It came off his foot and went just hooked to the freaking left instantly. Well, we got the flag here. Personal foul, defense. Is that Calais Campbell running into the kicker? Oh, it looks like he ran. Okay, so they're calling him on running into Matt Hennessy. Yep. All right, so we move the ball forward a little bit. Gannon's got his face, look on his face like he's completely disgusted right now. So now Eddie P gets a 47-yard field from 62 to 47. Much more makeable. This kick is up. They almost got the block on it, but it is good. So the Niners are going to go into halftime, increasing their lead just by 3. So it's 25-10. What? Okay, so I looked away, and then Eddie B was doing that. All right, so again, the Niners are going to be going into halftime with the lead up 2 scores, 15-10. We will be back shortly after the halftime. All right, we are back to start the second half with the Cardinals getting the ball. Niners are up 25-10, and they are getting the ball out to about the 32-yard line. So the Cardinals offense will start there. Let's see. Yeah, the penalties on the Cardinals are definitely not helping this situation at all. All right, Brissett back to pass. Brissett throwing it deep, going deep to Michael Wilson, and we got Demo in coverage. Good coverage with Demo. Brissett put it on the numbers. You can't ask for a better thrown ball for that one. Just good coverage by Debo. All right, so now we've got 2nd and 10 coming up for the 49ers. We're in motion, doing a quick screen. We got a flag out there, so no matter what this is, it's probably coming back. That's it. Grab Demo and just grab him and pull him apart. Oh, they're calling it an illegal shift. They're saying not everybody was set. Same bullshit that we got on Kittle last week. All right, here we go again. So we've got 2nd and 15 coming up for, or excuse me, 3rd and 15 for the Cardinals. So no, the 2nd 15. Oh, I'm looking ahead. We're set back to pass. Pockets collapsing a little bit. Got a little bit of a kick out. So we're going to have about 3rd and 3 coming up for the Cardinals here to start the second half. Niners up 25-10. All right, here we go. We got 3rd and 3 coming up for the Cardinals. Looks like they're about on the 37-yard line. Got one in motion coming across the formations. Put 2 at the bottom. 4-man rush by the Niners. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he is not going to get a pass. So we got about 4th and 1 coming up. So the Cardinals are going to go for it to start the second half. They are right there. Cardinals would be smart to go for this one, to be honest with you. Yep, offense for the Cardinals is staying out on the field. All right, so we have the 4th and 1 coming up. They're going to hand it off. He's going to get up the middle, and he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. Just Malik Mustafa to beat. One man get, and looks like it's a touchdown, but there is a flag on the field. Flag down. A holding on the Cardinals. Whew. Niners got lucky on that one. Talk about getting lucky on that one. Wow. Oh, yep. Yep. When Martin turned, you can clearly see it was a hold. It's going to happen every time. So They go from getting a touchdown to now having to do to punting. Oh, he do not look happy. Punt is up. Sky Moore is going to get it. He's going to get to 23. He gets to the 30. And he gets to about the 32 and a half, 33-yard line. So we'll see the Niners offense come to the field to start the third quarter. We will be right back with them. All right, we are back with the Niners taking the offense for the first time in the second half. Let's see if we get some Ricky Pearsall involved in the second half. We really have not seen much of anything at all from him so far today. All right, here we go. Got 1-1. CMC in the backfield. CMC is sliding over a little bit. Brock is back to pass. Brock's throwing it out to Juice. Juice getting the first down and more. Juice getting down to about the 50-yard line or so. All right, here we go. It's a good start. Good way to start the second half for the Niners. I'll say this about Juice. I don't ever want to see Juice carry the rock, but I like seeing Juice being thrown. All right, we got 1st and 10, 1-1. Hand off to CMC going up the middle. He's not going to get anywhere on that one. They had that one stuffed out from the jump. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 on about the 48-yard line or so. Yes. All right, here we go. We've got one up top, one to the bottom. Juice doing that little sideways thing on the backfield. Hand off the fake to CMC. Going to now throw back to CMC with the screen. He's got a convoy of people. He's going to get the first down, Niners. And we have an injured Cardinal down on the ground right now, so let's see. We'll see what we got coming up here. All right, so it looks like we're going to take a look at this Cardinal who is down, so we will be right back with him. All right, looks like it was Aaron Williams for Garrett Williams, excuse me, for the Cardinals, who was walking off to the. Looks like he's going straight to the locker room. Good chance his day is done for the day. We'll see what happens with him coming up. All right, we got first and 10 with the Niners. Kendrick Bourne is in motion. Hand off to CMC, going right up the middle, breaking one tackle, getting about 6 or 7 on that drive or that play. I just got a little leg whip on that one. We'll see how that. Hopefully, he's not hurt too bad. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. We got 2nd and 5, Juice across the motion, fake to CMC, play action, going to go for Kittle. Kittle's got the first down and about 4 or 5 yards on that one. Nice play on that one. First Kittle catch since his touchdown. Maybe. I don't know. It's been a while since we talked about Kittle. Just a nice little drag across the formation. Kittle's starting to feel it over there. All right, we have 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Hand off to CMC. CMC going up the middle. Jukes a few people up the middle, getting down to about 5 or so in that one. CMC just being the absolute workhorse that he is. I would like to see Brian Robinson get in right now, but hey, that's just me. All right, here we go for the 2nd and 5. We got 2 up top, Juice in the motion. We're changing the formation now. Juice is going out wide again. All right, here we go. Brock back to pass. Brock CMC gets it. CMC gets tripped up before CMC was going to score on that one. CMC was gone on that play. All right, here we go. We got a 3rd and 4 coming up here by the Niners. Motion. Brock back to pass. Pocket is collapsing. Brock is going to be brought down at the 30-yard line for the first sack of the day by the Cardinals. Josh Sweat with the sack on Brock. All right, ADP back on to hopefully get another field goal to extend this lead up again. The kick is up, and it is good. ADP pushing out the Niners lead to 28-10. Here to start the 3rd quarter. Hey, at least we got points. Be right back. All right, so they're showing the Pat Tillman, what do you call it, statue, who should be so much more. Yeah, look, this is, like I said, media. I don't know if you were here when I said this earlier. If you look back at that first blocked field goal when he got tackled, I think he either has a concussion or something's hurt, because when he got slammed to the ground, he had a dazed look at his face, man. I think there's something up with ADP right now. I don't think he's 100%, and we're just going to have to see how that grows out, because I think there's something going on with him. But we will see as the Niners come out, and we have the kickoff on them after ADP kicks the field goal to extend the lead to 28-10. And as far as Pat Tillman is concerned, one of the greatest American heroes of all time. All right, we got 1-1 for wideouts for the Cardinals. We got one guy deep in an I formation. Fake the handoff to him. Jacoby Brissett's going to go back over the middle and get the first down. There's a flag on the field, and we'll see how that goes. We got holding on the Cardinals. The Cardinals are just imploding on themselves with the amount of holding they've gotten themselves. Or not just holding, but just flags in general. Let's go, what, 14 flags so far? Actually, that wasn't a hold. After they show it, that was a terrible call. And like I had posted on Twitter, I don't give a fuck about look at all the bad plays the Niners got last week. It's about time we got some back. All right, so we got 1st and 20 on the 15-yard lines. They've got 2 and 2 with one in the backfield with Brissett. We're going to fake the handoff. He's going to go back to pass. Long pass over the middle. He's going to get the first down on that one. And, of course, Mike Wilson over and over. Every big play, there's a little bit of a holding there on Alfred Collins. It's always Michael Wilson when it comes to the Niners. All right, handoff to going up top, and we're going to get about 4 or 5 yards on that one. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can hold him and get off the field, get some good, because we get good field position and hold them here and score. We might be able to put them away early on this and go home. All right, we got 2nd and 6 here. One man in motion and back to pass. He gets it off. Man wide open, and again, it is Michael Wilson. Can we learn the man's name and show him respect and fucking cover him? Dortch coming out of the Wildcat. Kalia Davis with the tackle. But there's a flag down on the play. That's 15 on the penalties. Illegal shift. I will take it. Here we go. Kittle was set for longer last week. All right, here we go. So we got 1st and 15 now for them. We've got one up top, one to the bottom, one in motion coming across to the bottom of the field. Brissett fakes the handoff. Pockets collapsing on him a little bit. He's scrambling out. Scrambling. Oh, that is Demo with the pick. Demo's got the pick. He's cutting across. He's got some blockers. Demo's still going. Demo cutting across the field. He's got blockers down the field. He's pushing it up and stout in front of him. He's got, Jair Brown's, down to the 12-yard line, Demo. Rumbling, stumbling, tumbling. Down to the 12-yard line for Demo with his 2nd pick of the year. Nicely done, Demo. What have I said about this defense? This defense is not going to shut anybody out. It is not a dominant defense. This defense does not have blue chip players right now. This team just needs 4 or 5 big plays every game. Not even big plays. Good stops, good plays kind of thing. Again, a pick by Demo, a sack on a 3rd down, something like that. A almost blocked field goal by Alfred Collins. Those are the kind of plays this defense has to get to win without any blue chip players. And look at Robert Saleh, extremely happy with that. And that was Jacoby Brissett making the tackle on that. So Niners got 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. Hand off to Brian Robinson up the middle. He is pulling people forward for a gain of about 4. This is what you want to see. This is the kind of way you would probably end the game here. We go up 35-10 with 4 minutes left in the third. I'm not gonna. It's never say never in the NFL, but that game's going to be hard to come back from. All right, so we got 2nd and 6 coming up here. All right, we got Juice in motion. A little tight formation with 2. And a hand fake to hand off to B-Rob. Brock is back to pass. Kittle's open across the formation again. He's going to push him back. He's going to get the 1st-yard line. One man does not take George Kittle down. We have not learned that yet. George Kittle does not go down with one man. Good protection by the offensive line for the 49ers right there. A little drag out just crossed Kittle. It's a great tight end route in general. All right, here we go. Here we go. Come on, boys. Let's put the women and children to bed and go hunting for fucking dinner. I got tight formation. Ricky in motion. Make the handoff to Ricky or to BJ. Brock's throwing it. He's just throwing it to nobody. I wonder if that got tipped. So now we got 3rd and goal coming up. That looked like it was possibly blocked by somebody at the line of scrimmage. George Kittle doing George Kittle things. I could watch film of that man doing George Kittle things all day long. All right, here we go. So we got a 2nd and goal coming up here. 2nd and goal. We got 1 man out in this. We got B-Rob in the backfield. And fake it to B-Rob. Purdy's running. He's directing traffic, throwing it in the back of the end zone. Just going to throw it away. Juwan Jennings was not necessarily open, but that's the closest man we had over there. So we've got 3rd and goal coming down here. I do not want to see a field goal here. I want to see us put this game pretty much away. We only had one person, if we had somebody underneath, probably would have been better. I saw Luke Farrell there, but we'll have to watch that later. So we got 3rd and goal here for the Niners. Come on, let's put it in. Got Brock in the shotgun. We got 2 to the bottom, 1 up top. Brock back to pass. Brock's looking. He's looking. We've got George Kittle open in the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the day. The Niners going up 34, possibly 35 with a field goal here in a second. That is 4 touchdowns by George. Or no, 2nd for George, 3 for Brock today. Welcome back, Brock. This is why there was never a quarterback controversy. All right, Niners are up 35-10. We'll be right back. All right, Arizona with the coming back. Let's see. Oh, didn't switch screens. So the Arizona Cardinals coming back with 35-10 after getting the ball back. For anybody who thought there was a quarterback controversy with Brock, there never was. Sorry. Never was. There was never a quarterback controversy. Brock is the quarterback of this team. All right, here we go. We've got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom for the Cardinals. Well, screen got bright and dark all at the same time. They're going to dump it off. So we are still actually in the third quarter. We've got 2:15 left to go. All right, here we go. We got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. It's 2nd and 4 coming up here for the Cardinals. Brissett back to pass, throwing it, and it is a good Michael Wilson again. Fumble, maybe? No? Ball came out. Okay, ball. Nope. All right, and now they're just going to throw all. All right, 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. Back to pass again. And throw it. He's got the ball. And then good tackle. Good tackle by Darrell Little Jr. So we got 3rd and short coming up for the Cardinals. We have 50 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Handoff up the middle to get the first down on that one. All right, got 3 to the bottom. Step back to pass over the middle. It's missed tackle by somebody, and now we're getting down to about a 15 to 16-yard field goal, or it's first down. We got a Niner down on the field. Not sure who that was. Mustafa on the missed tackle. And then Curtis Robinson looks like it is down now. How many middle linebackers do we have? Oh, he's grabbing his knee. Robinson grabbing his knee. Oh, my God. Who's going to play middle linebacker? I mean, can we slide Eddie or Nick Martin over? Does D. Winters slide over and take that position? What are we going to do here? All right, Curtis Robinson has gotten up and walking out the field pretty good. Doesn't look like he has much of a limp at all. He's going to jog it off. Looks pretty good. So hopefully it's just a one-play thing. He just had a little bit of a stinger there. All right, so we got 1st and 10 for the Cardinals. First and 10 on the 23-yard line. They got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. Brissett back to pass. Pockets going there. Nice pass, and that is to, who is that? Is that McBride? Yep. So we got 1st and goal for Arizona now. That's the end of the third quarter already. So the Niners are going into the fourth quarter with a 35-10 lead. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back right now. Yeah, definitely Anshel. Eddie Pinero down. You can put that same face up for Curtis Robinson. He's out now, so it's probably what, Gifford at middle linebacker. Or maybe not. Who's out there? D. Martin and somebody. All right, so we got the first and goal here. He's the pocket's collapsing. Come on, why can't we get a sack out of that? There was a flag down on what might have been a Cardinal touchdown, but with the way things are going today, I'm going to guess that. Yep, penalty against the Cardinals. That's number 19 at this point. Curtis is back in. Okay, yeah. I was guessing. I figured he. Well, I guess if into the quarter, usually someone has to. If you go down hurt, you got to stay out of play. But I guess it was the end of the quarter, so 16th penalty today. I was off by 3. Oh no. All right, here we go. We got first and goal for the Cardinals on the 16, 17-yard line. We got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. Brissett's back to pass. 4-man rush. Throwing over the middle. Got 1 broken tackle. Getting about 7 or 8 on that one for Weiner. Not sure who that guy was. There we go. We got second and goal for the Cardinals here. They're showing the other holding play. It's just like, all right, back to pass. We got a little bit of a rush going on, and Brissett has to rush that one and misses the receiver over the middle. So now we've got third and goal here for the Cardinals. Third and goal. Oh, now we got a Cardinal who is down on the ground. This game is and this is being a game of attrition at this point. I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, I know that the rule is that the joke is there's a penalty on every play. It's just whether or not it gets called. But the Cardinals are taking that shit to heart and actually trying to do it. All right, let's see what's going on with the rest of the league here. Let's see, schools and schedules. We'll share this tab. All right, so obviously we are up 35-10 on the Cardinals. The Seahawks are still down to the Rams 12-21 with 10 to go in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs and Denver are now tied up at about less than a minute to go into the third. Cleveland is beating up on Baltimore, but then again, everybody's kind of beating up on Baltimore right now to these days. 16-10, and then all the rest of the game. So looks like if the way things are going, Seattle will end up dropping below us. Yeah, below us in the standings. The Rams will jump up to number 1. We will be number 2. Seattle number 3. I'm not sure what the so like what make us the 5th seed, 5th or 6th, and probably Seattle the 7th seed when it comes to the playoff standings for how things stand for that. Let's go back to share this one instead. Otherwise, I mean, like the bullshit penalties that we've gotten the last few weeks, how many PIs were not called against the Rams last week? The George Kittle will not set penalty. Sam Darnold has multiple picks. Again, Sam Darnold's been playing great this year. Sam Darnold has played a weak schedule for the most part. We all knew what's going to happen to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold will turn into Sam Darnold whenever the game is on the line. It's just the way he's always been. And the way he will, it's not going to change. That's just how he is. Anybody, if you're surprised by this, when this is what Sam Darnold has done his whole career, I don't know what I can do for you. So, let's see. Let me look at some stuff right here. My brother has texted me about 9 million times. Let me see what he wants. Let's see. Let's check your email. Okay. For those who really care, Shedeur Sanders is finally in the game. Took Dylan Gabriel getting hurt. Also, a side note, it was pretty cool today that let's see. Okay, we got the 3rd and goal here for the Cardinals. 4-man rush, throwing over the middle. Terry McBride gets in it. Oh, it's a fumble. And who is it? Keon White with the fumble recovery after the ball was knocked out. Terry McBride was in the end zone for that one. That was a definitive touchdown on that one. Oh, not Terry McBride. I thought it was him who caught the ball, but I was wrong. Either way, that was a guaranteed touchdown for the Cardinals there, and he just fumbles it. That is out before. What have I said? Just make plays. This defense not going to be dominant. Just make plays. Optin Stout with the huge play at the goal line. Nice fucking play, boys. All right, the question is, we've now got the ball, like the 4-yard line? Can we get it out? Let's go. Come on. All right, so we got this tight formation. B. Robinson in the game. Hand off to him right up the middle. Gets stopped in the backfield. Gets to the original line of scrimmage. I mean, even if we don't get out of this position where we're at right now, we're just pulling clock time off this right now. All right, we got 2nd and 10 here from the 4-yard line. Hand off once again to B. Robinson. B. Robinson, a little bit of stubble, runs right into Pooney. Might have had something there if Pooney got out of the way or if he didn't stumble. But we got a little bit of breathing room, so it's 3rd and 6 coming up. So we got 3rd down coming up here for the Niners. All right, here we go. We got 3 to the bottom with Kittle, 1 up top in the spread formation. I wish we would just stay in there. Brock back to pass. Brock is looking over the middle. CMC. CMC is going to be short, but why would you even throw that, Brock? You know that's not. Come on, man. And, of course, the punt team comes up for the Niners. But, again, the clock is still running, and that's pretty much what we want right now. Just keep the clock running, get this W, and get the hell out of town. Let's see. All right. Punt is up. Got a couple of Niners who slipped and fell. Doris with a good return, getting out to about the 37-yard line. Is that Morstead down? Oh, no, looks like that might be Gifford. And then there's also a flag down. So we'll see what's going on with all of this flag and everything after. That is Luke Gifford who is down. Another linebacker. Jesus Christ. And then we also have holding. So we are, what is that, 18 now? 18 penalties now on the Cardinals? Angelo, can you play linebacker? You might be needed at this point, buddy. Let's see if there's anything on Twitter about anybody, anything new. All right, there we go. So it looks like everybody's up. Hopefully Gifford is okay because we can't afford to lose any more linebackers at this point. Good job, Gifford, getting up to walk off. Everybody give him a high five. Patting the head by Mr. Kyle Shanahan. He's a little gimpy. I wanted for looks like he collided pretty hard with somebody, so hopefully he's okay. He's going into the medical tent. So Arizona has got 3 up top, 1 to the bottom. It's 11:45 to go in the 1st and 10. 4-man rush. And just going to dump it off. Of course, Steve Winters whiffs on the tackles, but he's not going to go far as we got a couple other guys out there, Curtis Robinson and maybe Khalil Davis, who got in on that tackle. All right. We got 2nd 11 here for them. Throwing the ball over the middle. Curtis Robinson and then Upton Stout on the tackle for that one. So we have like a 3rd and 2 coming up. And we're just playing soft defense at this point. It's bend but don't break at this point, which I absolutely hate. Brissett back to throw. He's going to throw it. Trey McBride. So just tackle him, Winners. Don't give him that little push. Fucking tackle him. Okay, that was pretty funny, Trey. I'm not even going to lie. That was pretty funny. All right, here we go. We got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom for Brissett. Again, they're just going to the spread and just going to throw it all over the place, try and come back real quick. 4-man rush. Almost getting to Brissett. Michael Wilson getting out of the bounds, getting about 7 or 8 on that one. Michael Wilson having himself a game today. Like I said, that was pretty funny by Trey McBride. I ain't even mad at him for that. All right, Brissett back to pass. Again, 4-man pass rush. Another catch to Wilson, who's just padding stats at this point. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 10 minutes to go left in the 4th quarter. the Niners are just going to play soft defense, even though we all know how much we absolutely hate soft defense. Keep everything in front of them. Just give them the underneath short stuff. 4-man rush. Brissett's going to move out to the pocket. He's going to throw it down and throw it away, stopping the clock, unfortunately. So the only bad part about that is the clock now stops. All right. Alfred Collins coming off the field. A little bit of a gimp. All right, here we go. They got trips up top, 2 to the bottom, something backfield for Jacoby Brissett. Niners playing soft coverage right now. We're just keeping everything in front of us. 4-man rush. Brissett steps up into the pocket, throws to Terry McBride, who's going to get the first down. Sure, give him the first down. We got 9:40 left to go in the fourth quarter. Niners are up 35-10 still. Yeah, Brissett's going to have about 400 yards passing, but it's a very deceiving number when you look at it. It's going to look great on the stat sheet. If you started Jacoby Brissett today, besides the interception, his yards, let's see. How many points does he have right now? Let's look up it up on Sleeper. So Jacoby Brissett right now has 363 yards passing, and right now he only has 10.32 points in fantasy football. So, all right, handoff up the middle. They're going to get the first down on that one after 3rd and 1. Clock will be ticking down underneath the 9-minute mark. Again, we're just wanting the time to run out. All right, they're up. 2 up top, 2 to the bottom for Brissett. 4-man rush. Throwing the ball, we're going to get down to about the 10-yard line. 8:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Like I said, garbage time stats. You don't necessarily want to see it because the stat line makes the Niners pass defense look terrible, and going over the middle, nice catch by Jacoby Brissett. Nice throw by Terry McBride from Jacoby Brissett. It's going to be 35-16 with about 8 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Can't do anything about that throw and catch. I mean, just players making plays sometime. Excuse me. All right, so obviously Arizona going for the 2-point conversion just to see what they can do. All right, here we go. They've got 2 to the bottom of the stack formation. Brissett Dorse on the formation. He's going to try and run it up there, and he's going to get stopped. Lou Gifford, who was down earlier, and then who was at Nick Martin coming to finish it up after that. So they are going to be stuck at 16 with the Niners only giving up the touchdown. They didn't get the 2-point conversion. The Niners, let's see, it's up 35-16. How much time we got left? Show the clock. We've got 8:28 left to go in the fourth quarter. Be right back. All right, the Cardinals go for the onside kick, and they do not unsuccessful on it. So the Niners, after Juice grabs it, so we got first and 10 coming up here for the Niners. 8:24 left to go in the game. Juice, just go down. Just go down, Juice. All right, here we go. Again, 35-16, first and 10 for the Niners. Juice in motion in the backfield. Fake handoff to CMC. Juice is open. Toss it over there to him. Juice getting the ball for the catch for about 5 yards on the first down. So we'll have a 2nd and 5 coming up here shortly. Score down. Do we start pulling people? I would at least start pulling some of the. I would not put in CMC anymore in this game. There is Mac Jones, who did incredible work as the quarterback while Brock was out. So we'll see how this goes. All right. Juice in motion, going to toss out to CMC. Nice block by Juice. CMC cutting it up for the first down. Takes Kittle while he's there, and Kittle takes down somebody else as he's rolling over. All right, clock is still a ticking. Niners are up 35-16. 7:30 left to go in the fourth quarter. Looking great in his return. Ugh. All right, here we go again. First and 10. Hand off to CMC up the middle. Pushes Juice out of his way. Gets about 2.5 on that carry. So it looks like we're going to be showing Brock, a young-looking Brock, as the 2017 Arizona Cardinals High School Player of the Year. I always forget. I don't know why I forget Brock is from Arizona. Brock's standing there like oblivious that they're on TV. All right, we've got the 2nd and 8 here. We've got 2 men out. Brian Robinson in the backfield by himself. The front of fake it. Oh, this is a broken play. Brock just slides down. Smart play by him. Just keep the clock ticking. Arizona taking a timeout, so the clock does not continue to run. Yeah, but for some reason, I don't understand. I don't know why I always forget for some reason that Brock is not from Arizona. All right, so here we go. We got the 3rd and 15 now after that broken play with B-Rob and Brock in the backfield. Not sure what in the world that was going off. All right, here we go. We got CMC moving out, so Brock now has an empty backfield, so CMC is wide. Brock is back to pass. Brock's looking in that direction. Brock is throwing, and that is Christian McCaffrey taking a catch that he probably should not. Why is he even taking? Why is he in the game? We've got 6 minutes left to go. Take Brock out. Take CMC out. Take Trent out. Start taking some of these guys out already. Jesus, come on, man. That's one of those plays where someone will get hurt. All right, we got a 4th and 1 coming up. Are we just going to brush Brock, or we got to put B-Rob? If anything, let us put B-Rob in and run him up the middle. If you're not going to do, sneak it with Brock, just put B-Rob's not in. Brock is smiling. There's lots of smiles in the huddle right now, so everybody knows how this game is going. So we are now down to 5:50 to go in the fourth quarter. CMC in the backfield. We got a 1st and 10 to go. All right, we got a little motion for Kendrick. Hand the ball off to CMC. CMC's breaking some tackles. CMC's cutting in and out. Getting down to about the 4-yard line is CMC. We're going to score here again. Kyle Juszczyk with a good block. All right, boys, let's come on. Let's put the women and children to bed and go hunting for fucking dinner. That was our first run of 20-plus yards for the season. Amazing. All right, we got 2 up top, 2 to the bottom with Kittle. Kittle in motion, CMC in the backfield. Going to toss it out to CMC. CMC is going to cut it up on the outside and score for his 3rd touchdown of the game. This offense is putting up some points today. Now, granted, the Cardinals are not great, but let us do this. Ugh. This is our offense when we are a fully functional Death Star. Why are we going for 2? Oh, that's right. Eddie P is out, so that we kind of have to. But Brock, just go down, buddy. I understand we're going for 2 at this point, but Brock, just fucking go down, buds. I'm trying to post something here. All right, we will be right back with the commercial. Oh, nope, we're not. So apparently we're going to keep going. Thomas Morstead is obviously kicking off because Eddie P is questionable to return currently. All right, we got 4:44 to go left in this game with the Niners. We need to start pulling people and get the people out of the game. I swear if I see CMC, Brock, all those guys out there again, I will start hurting people. All right, Brissett back to pass, going deep. Wilson fell down somewhere in his route, so not going anywhere. We've got 4:39 left to go. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Cardinals. All right, here we go again. Pat Stadden for Jacoby Brissett at this point. 4-man rush coming. Wilson getting about 8 or 9 on that catch. Karen McBride or Michael Wilson again on the catch, going out of bounds. So let's see, what do we got? Jacoby Brissett has 425 yards passing, but in the last quarter and a half, we've been playing prevent. So take that. All right, here we go. Oh, we're actually blitzing somebody on this one. Dortch got it. We can't. Two guys can't tackle him. Another guy can't tackle him. Finally, we tackle him. Good job keeping him in bounds to keep the clock running. So we've got 4:15 left to go in the fourth quarter with the Cardinals run with a first down, 1st and 10 to go for the Cardinals. Yeah. Again, Jacoby Brissett is at over 400 yards, but the last quarter and a half we've been in prevent defense. So take that with a grain of salt. More passes by Jacoby Brissett. We're going to tackle him inbounds for a gain of about 7 or 8. So we've got about 2nd and 8 or so to go. Clock is still running down to about the 3.5 minute mark here in just a few seconds. All right, Brissett back to pass, 4-man rush again. He's getting the ball out there, and he actually gets tackled by one Nick Martin. Welcome to the game, brother. All right, once again, we are going to be back in the prevent. Jacoby Brissett looking over the middle, throwing it. Nice pass. Nick Martin with the tackle once again on Dortch. 3 minutes under. We are officially under 3 minutes to go in this game. Jacoby Brissett's going to hit 450 yards passing. Everybody's going to think he had an amazing game. Note to self, he didn't. Brissett's back to pass, throwing it to the end zone. He's got a man wide open. Dortch with a touchdown. It's Dortch with a touchdown. What are you going to do? You play prevent defense when you're up this much. This is what happens. Are they actually going to go for the 2-point conversion is the question. They sure are. All right, they've got 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom, going for the 2-point conversion. Brissett's looking, throwing out there. Good coverage out there. Good coverage by Marcus Siegel. So hopefully, the way it looks so far, we're going to be getting out of here without any serious injuries to anybody. We'll see what's going on with Tatum Bethune. As far as I know, no one else is going to be down with a serious injury right now. So, and Tatum Bethune could have just been a little bit of a stinger. Kind of paying attention to this Rams Seahawks game. It looks like the Seahawks are pushing down the field. There's 17 seconds left. They're down 19 to 21. 17 seconds left to go. Looks like they are about the 40-yard line. All right, it is, and that is Isaac Garendo coming it up with the recovery on the onside kick for the second time. Nice job, Jacoby Brissett. Again, I'm not worried about this defense giving up 450 yards passing. Again, we've been in prevent defense for the last 2 hours, it feels like. Hand off to B. Robinson, who's just going to go up the middle. He's going to drag a guy, drag another guy, get about 6 yards or so. And again, we're going to be taking the clock down to the 2-minute warning here for the Niners. And we'll have about a second. We'll have a 2nd and 3 coming up after that 2-minute warning. Mac Jones is obviously in the game right now. CMC is obviously out of the game right now. I'm hoping Trent is not in the game. All right, so they're going to commercial for the 2-minute break. So we will, or the 2-minute warning, and we will join them for most likely the last time today. I'm over here talking to myself because I thought I had switched over because I was kind of paying attention to the Seahawks and Rams game with the Seahawks won, and so have the Niners. The Niners beat the Arizona Cardinals 41-22. It's a good game for the return for all three of Alfred Collins, who had himself a pretty good game. Ricky Pearsall didn't do much in his return, but it's good to see him moving, and Brock Purdy having himself a damn good day. But yeah, so Niners have won. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Jamie will be on Niner Faithful Radio a little bit later for the post game report. Until then, Fafitai te lava. One love.